welcome to the Tokenized Economy. Here is today's explainer on what is a blockchain node. So in our last chats, we've dug into things like blocks and hashes, basically how all this data is structured and kept safe. But that kind of leaves a big hanging question, doesn't it?
Right? I mean, where is all this stuff actually stored? If it's not sitting on some single giant server somewhere, then how does the whole thing work? How does it all stay in sync? Well, the answer is this really cool kind of unsung hero of the blockchain world, something called a node.
So at its core, a node is just a computer. That's it. It's any computer that's connected to the blockchain network. And its main job? To keep a full copy of the entire ledger and pass along updates to all the other computers on the network. But, to really get why this is such a game changer, I think a simple analogy will help. Okay, so let's imagine we're talking about the accounting system for some huge global company. How would that normally work? The old school way?
Well, in the old centralized world, you'd have one team, let's call it the main finance department, and they would control the one single master spreadsheet. They're the gatekeepers. Now, this creates a couple of massive problems, right? First, it's a single point of failure. If their server crashes, poof, the whole company is flying blind. And second, it gives them complete control. They could, in theory, change things without anyone else knowing. That's a lot of power in one place.
Okay, but the node way, it just flips that entire idea on its head. Instead of one master copy, imagine every single department in the company has its own perfect, identical copy of that spreadsheet. Now, when someone makes a change, that update gets sent out to everybody, and all the copies are instantly checked against each other to make sure they all match. You see what that does? It means no single department can just go in and secretly tweak the numbers. It's all out in the open, and that right there is the magic of decentralization.
And this brings us to the most important takeaway: resilience. Because you have all these different nodes, all these computers storing the exact same history, there's no single point of failure anymore. If one computer goes offline, or even 100 of them, it doesn't matter. The network just keeps on ticking because thousands of others still have that complete, verified record. The system heals itself.
Okay, so that's the big picture. But like most things, it gets a little more detailed when you look closer. See, not all nodes are created equal. They don't all do the exact same thing. There are a couple of different types, so let's quickly break them down.
All right, so you've basically got two main flavors: full nodes and light nodes. Think of full nodes as the guardians of the network. They download and store the entire blockchain history, every single transaction from day one. They check everything for themselves, which is absolutely crucial for the security of the whole system. Then you have light nodes. These are built for speed and convenience, like what you might use in a mobile wallet on your phone. They don't download the whole history. That would be way too much data. Instead, they just grab the essential bits, and they kind of rely on the full nodes to get the rest of the details. So yeah, it's that classic trade-off: top-tier security versus something that's fast and easy to use. And just to clear something up, you might also hear people talk about validators. So what's the deal with that? Well, it's pretty simple, actually. Think of it this way. All validators are nodes, but they have a very special job. They're the ones who are actually responsible for confirming new blocks and adding them to the chain. So you can be a node without being a validator, but you can't be a validator without being a node. It's a very important, specialized role. Okay, so this all sounds cool in theory, right? But what does it actually look like in the real world? Let's take a look at finance, because this is where nodes are already making a huge impact. So you've got major financial institutions, think big banks, investment firms. They are actually running their own nodes on these new blockchain networks. And you have to ask, why would they do that? Well, it's because it gives them power and security. By running their own node, they can verify every single transaction for themselves. They no longer have to blindly trust some central third party. They have their own copy of the record, they know it's tamper-proof, and they know it's perfectly in sync with everyone else on the network. So, if you're going to take away just one thing from all this, let it be the three key jobs of a node. First, they store the data. Second, they share all the updates. And third, and this is the big one, they are what makes the whole system decentralized. They are the foundation that makes everything else possible. They truly are the backbone of the blockchain. Hey, if this helped clear things up for you, we'd love it if you'd subscribe for more of these quick explainers on blockchain and the tokenized economy. And seriously, drop a comment below and let us know what topic you want us to tackle next. We really do read them. Thanks for tuning in.